Hi, hi everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can
Daniel,
hear you
loud and
now.
clear.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry about that. I think there's an issue with the Great Firewall. But I'm calling you guys from a mobile connection right now, and I think I'll just do audio first, while I wait for my laptop to just reconnect. So maybe if I could just understand a little bit more, if people could ask if what are you guys here to build? What are the ideas that you guys have? And then maybe we could just go in a round of sharing while I set up the laptop, and then I can share contextualize a lot of the Binance APIs and Binance developer tools in the context of the projects that you guys are building. Um, so Shreyas, Ian, Len, and Shogo, you guys want to give it a go?
Hey Daniel, I'm part of the organizing team. I work with CoinList. Not currently hacking on any project, but I'd love to sometime. I think I'd leave it for the others to share.
Right. Cool. Anyone else?
Yeah, same for me. I'm from Linkpool, so just here to follow along with the workshops as they trot out this week. Been really great so far, so just looking forward to another one.
Cool. Anyone else?
I was
Yeah.
fighting the same battle while we were waiting for you to join, Daniel. I think everyone's afraid to talk this morning. It's still early for a lot of us.
I see. Cool. Yeah.
We've been getting lots of good questions in our chats and everything, so I know that people are out there building.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
sorry. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah. No. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit. I came into this space through the Gitcoin remote hackathons. So remote hackathons are very near and dear to my heart. And maybe I'll just share a little bit more about Binance.com APIs. So I'm sure most of you know, Binance is an exchange that I think we support a lot of the cryptocurrency market. We basically handle a significant amount of the trading volume of a lot of different coins. And I think as we've started to go on, I think one of the greatest, most interesting areas that we've been exploring is really just data access to our market data. How do we make it? How do we create more efficient markets through very strong exchange support and information as a result? So I think I can't share my screen at the moment, but I think what we do have, and I'll share some of the links in the Discord channel at the moment, which is really uh, the exchange APIs, and we have wrappers for them in PHP, Node.js, all of the major languages. The only one language that I think we're still pending is Rust. That is actually in development still, and we'll be working towards that to basically provide, by the end of the year, very strong API access to Binance.com APIs for trading, for rebalancing. And what we really do want people to do is to take these and just find ways to like create new novel products. So I'm very sure everybody in the Chainlink is very familiar with the Ethereum DeFi ecosystem. It's very exciting to see really like how you can use exchange data and market functioning data in, let's say, MakerDAO Oracle or Compound Oracle. And we're really excited to see, if not just looking at price, but maybe like volume and other things, what new innovations people can build through a combination of like real-time exchange data that is performant and just basically smart contracts. So we're really excited to just see how you guys use the excellent Chainlink protocol to create this sort of very tamper-resistant data oracles and just build new and interesting financial products for the next billion users. Um, so the second thing which we wanted to talk about is really that Binance now has an OAuth, which we are using as a Binance login. So you can go to developers.binance, and I'll paste this link in the Discord in a moment, where you can actually integrate Binance's OAuth and from it be able to pull out a lot of your accounts with OAuth scopes as well, and basically be able to pull up like the balances in your account, your trading history and other things. And we're really excited for people to basically build like past trade explorers, account management tools using Binance OAuth. And that's another API that we're making available, and we're really putting it out there for developers to see what they can build with it. The third thing that we are really excited to do, and I think we haven't been very good about the messaging with this so far, is that I think, as many of you guys know, Binance.com is a centralized exchange. And I think before all we hear all the groans and everything, the truth is that in 2019, centralized exchanges are still the most performant way to run a matching engine, right? Because at the heart of every exchange is basically a matching engine that has to be performant and has to be has very low latency. And there's also a lot of stuff around like the matching algorithms. How do you basically design an algorithm that can create efficient market clearing outcomes? But I think Binance, at the heart of our company, we dearly want to be decentralized. I think the background of the company itself is that we didn't take venture capital money. We just ran an ICO, and that decentralization ethos is really at the heart of the company. And I think this is across all cultures in general. And what we're starting to work on is this very, very audacious project to build a decentralized exchange with a very performant order matching system that cannot be front run. For those of you guys with distributed system backgrounds, you know this is very tough, because in a distributed system, basically the gossip network, basically you wanting to build a decentralized exchange and still prevent front running are actually at odds. Because when you run a distributed system, you have to have a gossip network that passes messages in a transparent way. But when you trust messages in a transparent way, you basically open up the chance of front running. So an example of this is basically, let's say if I submitted an order to buy 500,000 Chainlink tokens to the Binance DEX, right? Let's say if you're another person in the gossip network on the DEX, and you see that there's an incoming order for 5,600 Chainlink tokens, you're basically incentivized to basically try to front run me and buy up the token supply and sell it to me for the higher prices after that. So this is basically a lot of the very difficult technical problems that we're trying to solve. Binance DEX is no longer just a research project. We have it deployed. We use basically a variant of Cosmos Tendermint Byzantine fault tolerant system to basically just run order matching. We have 1 second block times. I think a very, very common perception that I think we're going to have to be better in communicating is that we're not here to compete with any of the chains. Binance chain does not have any smart contract capabilities. We are a very, 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 very focused chain on building a decentralized order matching platform. And over the time, you'll see a lot of the features that we roll out, threshold signatures, possibly in the future, zero knowledge order books. They are all very, very focused on just figuring out how to take Binance.com, a centralized exchange, and build a decentralized version that we think will be equally as performant. And as these technologies mature over the next year, will become more performant, will become more usable, and become more just user-friendly and be able to deliver the type of performance and the type of usability that the centralized exchange today does. And I think that would be very, very healthy for the decentralization industry and just what we stand for as just a movement. So yeah, I wish I could screen share this, but I'm really sorry I'm having some problems with my laptop at the moment. But I'll be pasting a lot of the links to the different documentation. And what I'll be doing is that I think what is actually a lot more efficient is for me to just connect with developers who do want to build on this and just perhaps just work with you one-on-one to the point of pair coding and just working with you to just work on to build new types of oracles. I think that's one area that we're very interested in. And Chainlink is the company that really, really does this very well, and we would love to work with you more on it. And
that's awesome, Daniel. I love that you're it's so clear that you really mean what you're saying, that you're here to help people build. And I love that you're offering one-on-one support. And it's so obvious that you mean that, because with the Binance X Fellowship, you're obviously backing that up with cold, hard cash. So, I mean, that's pretty much as cool as it gets in my book. Can I ask a couple questions from my perspective as
Sure.
Chainlink developer advocate?
Absolutely.
So basically you talked about kind of building this decentralized exchange, which is kind of taking capabilities from the real world and merging them with blockchain capabilities. And obviously that means that you're going to need to bring real world data on chain. And I'm so happy that you're talking to Chainlink and our community about that kind of stuff. But I also loved how you were talking about like doing one thing and doing it well. And obviously that's what we do at Chainlink. What we do well is we build secure decentralized oracles. So from your point of view as like a consumer of Chainlink, can you talk about why it's better for you to use technologies like Chainlink as opposed to, you know, just kind of maybe like rolling your own oracle or something like that? Like what is it about using stuff like Chainlink that really adds value to what you do as a builder of Binance X?
Absolutely. So I do have to caveat here that I'm going to speak more from my personal capacity as a developer who's just been in this space for some time, because I think I've been writing some such smart contracts for some time, right? And you know, right from the very early days that we were using Oracleize and basically just having HTTPS API, and that was good enough for us. You know, we felt real good about ourselves until one day things break, right? And that's a huge problem, right? Because as we mature as an industry, we are basically going from this navy, I think crypto is still very firmly in our pirate era. You know, we're like hackers just put together some code. We say, yeah, we'll build this great system, you know, we'll build this collateralized thing, and you know, as the price oracle drops, you know, then they'll liquidate certain things. This was great when we were playing around with tiny amounts, you know, like little cash that we like just wanted to play with and wanted to build like a proof of concept for. But now we're starting to really cross into the era where people are putting significant money into these things. Yes, a couple of months ago, I posted this tweet online where I said, hey, you know, each month I send money home to my parents, right? And I used to send it in US dollars to their bank account. And what I'm going to do is that from this month onwards, I'm going to send it to them in CDAI, right? And the Twitter community was basically, some of the compound guys are really happy, but there's a big group of people who's just like, are you crazy, right? This stuff is not proven. Don't bring your parents into this, right? And a lot of their criticisms were around the Oracle, right? Because even for MakerDAO, I believe that there's probably a 60-minute, please don't quote me from this. You better off asking Mariano about this. But I think there is a 60-minute time interval where like any malicious tampering of the oracles or malicious data sources becomes very, very catastrophic for the entire stability of the system, right? And you know, I absolutely love what you said about like the Unix philosophy of let's just be really, really good at one thing. Over at Binance, what we specialize in is liquidity and a really good exchange matching engine, right? And that sort of community support. And we focus on our user. We're fanatical about the user support. I can't show you how much like our user support guys like go the extra mile to try to handle like what is essentially a very difficult topic, teaching people how to unlock wallets, how to manage the private keys and all that. That's what we're good at, right? And I think if we truly believe that, you know, the world will be run by blockchains in the future, right? And data, truth, data, and like prevention of like malicious info is important. I think Chainlink performs like, I don't know your product as well as you do, but if you can figure out how to have like incentives in place such that oracles are incentivized to tell the truth, and you can avoid the type of scenarios like the Poloniex clams case, right? Where sorry, I can't really remember which, but I do recall that it was an Oracle issue that basically led to losses on behalf of basically liquidations and something of that nature. I think as our industry basically goes from private pirate ships to, you know, really a real trusted cruise ship that people are willing to put their savings on and live on crypto, I can't imagine how something like that is more important.
Awesome, Daniel. Thank you for sharing that. I know, kind of building on sort of what Dan said, I know we had a couple questions in the Discord, and I know the kind of whole hacker community is very interested in, you know, the fellowship program. Would you mind just kind of talking about that a little bit and kind of expounding upon maybe what you guys are looking for in terms of bringing people into that program?
Sure. Binance is in the place where now I think we want to support the overall crypto ecosystem. It's not just about Binance Chain, it's not about Binance Dex, but it's really returning back to this real one question that we keep returning to. Where is the real world usage of crypto? I think if you look at the fellowships page, what we've done is that we've funded a very broad swath of projects, from very infrastructural projects, such as Grin. We found, I think, a Grin, you know, Austin Griffith and the others. What we're starting to really push towards are two areas that we award Binance X fellowships to. And here I'll have a little segue into Binance X fellowship. What we do is we give ecosystem grant supports of about $1,000 to $5,000 each month. It's kept to 3 months. So actually, I started off in this industry as a Binance X fellow for my project Enable. And what Binance did was they gave us $5,000 each month for 3 months to basically just fund the project. After that, we won a hackathon to just help us to keep working on it and just see whether there was any product market fit. Unfortunately for us, there wasn't. But I think what Binance X fellowships are meant to do is to bridge this, what we see as the funding gap between hackathon winning projects and like real world usage. So even for this hackathon, even for the Gitcoin hackathon, even for ETH Berlin, there's such amazing ideas that are built during each hackathon that just end every Sunday, right? And then we all fly back to our own countries and another great project goes to waste on GitHub. What we want to do is to just say that, hey, these are great project ideas that could be real world usage. Take this money, keep working on it for the next few months. Let's see if you can get somewhere, right? And just keep working on it. If you believe in crypto, we'll help you a little bit. It's not a lot of money. You know, it's $5,000, which let's say if your hackathon team is 3 people, we'll probably fund you. It's probably just enough to split among you guys for like a little small allowance and cover a little bit of the security audit. But just keep working on it. We believe in you. We're willing to fund you. Just keep working on it and just keep trying for real world adoption. But that said, I think I do have to caveat that the fellowships process, it did turn out to be a lot more competitive than we thought, which is something that I think the funding gap in the crypto ecosystem is something that as Binance, we keep thinking of how to solve. And I think, but we're here just to do our part. As of today, there are 50 fellows distributed, I think, in 23 countries across the globe. And today, I think what we've done is to support 50 projects and just keep people in the industry and just keep building really amazing stuff. And hopefully one of these projects in the near future, I think if 20 years from now, if we're funded, if this small little fellowship has kept an Amazon founder in this space or somebody who built something really meaningful for the space, then I think we've done well with this program.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that explanation, Daniel. Really appreciate that.
Cool. I am so sorry that that I can't screen share at the moment, but I do. I will be live on Discord and ready to pair code with anybody and show you the really inner workings of the APIs. I think the bigger question is really which API you want to work with, and I can pull in the correct resource person or code with you myself. So yeah.
Perfect. Daniel, where do you expect? I know you mentioned you're going to put some stuff. Are you going to be putting this kind of in the Binance channel and Discord? And is that sort of the best place for people to reach out to you? What's your kind of preferred method of communication there?
Just tag me in the Binance channel. I have notifications, and I'll be answering. So yeah, let me know how I can support anybody who's working on great stuff in this hackathon.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, guys. As well, we have recorded this. I'll work on, of course, getting this out, as quickly as possible to everybody. So, everybody can sort of review it. As Daniel mentioned, he'll be in the Binance channel. Obviously it's pretty late for him right now, just to be aware, but I'm sure if you make a note to them, as soon as he gets back on, he'll certainly respond as soon as possible and help you guys build. And I think it's fantastic, as Daniel mentioned, the idea that someone's going to win this hackathon, or a couple. We actually have quite a few people that can win a prize in this hackathon. But then what does that mean? If you had an idea that you spent quality time on, I think it's definitely worthwhile for you to see if you can flesh that out. And obviously, there's restrictions and things, but Binance is trying to provide a tool for you to kind of build upon that idea to see if maybe you can be the next great thing out there, the next infrastructure project that everyone realizes they need to build on. So I just want to say thank you so much, Daniel, for your time, and everybody else for being here. And if obviously anybody has any questions, ping, the appropriate people throughout all the Discord channels, and we'll be certainly happy to assist you.
Sure. Thank you so much, everybody. It's really great to see new builders in the space.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Again, I'll have this recording up as soon as possible, but everybody have a great day and just continue hacking. Thank you.
See you around.